It's our reality, just your average family, trying to be normal and stay out of trouble, living a double life.
What's up? We got Thunderman Season 2, Episode 9, Change of Art. So, yeah, I'm back doing the Thundermans because I decided to just come back. I still plan on doing Young Sheldon, but that's after a big project that I'm currently working on. It's a secret. You guys will like it when I'm done finishing it. I don't know how much script it will be done, how much script I'll have once it's finished. But yeah, I'm currently focusing all my time on that right now instead of doing Young Sheldon. Young Sheldon will be back once I'm done that big video, but right now I'll be focusing on the big video and the Thundermans content. So today we got Thundermans. So what's up? Today we got Thundermans Season 2, Episode 9, Change of Art. This episode starts off at the Hinnville High art class. Yay, another new location. You know me and me loving new locations that this show does, because it's just a thing. I just love new locations. Anyway, Sarah shows up and Sarah shows Phoebe her painting of Max. Phoebe says clearly Sarah's never seen Max in a toga, and Sarah says she has in her mind. Then Max shows up and Phoebe says late again. Max says he has this little thing where he doesn't care. I love Max. The art teacher lady says she meant to ask Max which one of his art masterpieces would he like to donate to tomorrow's school art auction. Max says, "Gosh, Mrs. Madsen," which is the teacher's name. He doesn't know. There's so many to choose from. Phoebe just says, "Oh, there's so many to choose from," in a mocking voice. Max says, "Maybe he'll make a new one." Mrs. Madsen says, "Whatever it is, Max, she's sure he'll bring a lot of money for the school." Mrs. Madsen asks Phoebe when she's gonna start her fire. Phoebe says she's finished it. She's calling it a horse. Max says it looks like it was made by a horse. Miss Madsen says, "Max, you're funny and talented. And Phoebe, you're always on time." Phoebe says she doesn't get why art is so easy for Max and hard for her. They're twins. Max says, "Let's ask the horse monster." "Throw me in the garbage, Max." So Phoebe uses her telekinesis to make Max trip before he can throw her horse in the garbage. Mrs. Madsen sees him. Says, "Max, I didn't see it there." And then Max says, "Miss Madsen, he just didn't see it there." Then Mrs. Madsen says, "It's beautiful." When he falls, it creates it creates magic. Okay, Mrs. Madsen. Whatever you say, girl. Phoebe says and tells the class to take it in. Phoebe says she can do that too, and then she throws feet on the floor, landing on Mrs. Madsen's shoes, and then Phoebe says she calls it, "How much does she owe her for Mrs. Madsen's shoes?" After the opening, it's in Max's lair. Max is playing video games. When he gets a notification from Evilgram, which is literally just Instagram for supervillains, that Costa says he told Max that the costume shop was having a sale. Max says it's not Costa's costume. He just lost another follower on Evilgram. What? Why does he think he's losing so many? Costa says, "Maybe because you moved to Hinnville made Max stop." Max tries to post a picture of him firing a rocket. Yeah, Max used to post pictures of firing rockets at satellites. Now he's just waiting for Colosso to sit on a whoopee cushion. Colosso does, and Max says that's so funny. He's gotta post that. Colosso says, Costco then does a karate kick, kicking the phone out of Max's hand. Max says, what did you just do? And Costa says, I just saved you from losing any more followers. He says, Costa's right. Max gotta get his edge back. Let's get a picture of Max taking a satellite. Then Max gets his rocket. Then it cuts to Costa walking in, with Max walking in. Costa says, what are we gonna do next time? And Max says, take the selfie before he lights the fuse. Then Costa calls Max a grasshopper. Meanwhile, at the Thunder House, we see Phoebe coming with boxes. Hank says, oh, she found the art supply. Phoebe says, weird, they were just in a box that said, under the garage that said, power tools, and a box label, keep out. Yeah, that's really weird. Phoebe says, anyway, with a little hard work, her art can make more money than Max's at the auction than Max's. Or more money at the auction than Max. Then at the Thunder House, we see Phoebe doing art when Max shows up with a pole. Phoebe says, I guess Max found the pole. Girls won't go near him, and Max says, no, he's going to vault himself into the Hiddenville Zoo and then recruit Gorilla Army. Max. Gorilla Garage tried to do that once in The Flash, and he tried to get a Gorilla Army to attack Central City, and it ended up with Solivar attacking him, and ended up with Solivar commanding the gorillas. I don't think commanding a Gorilla Army is a good idea. I don't think Solivar would like that. Solivar would not like you taking over his gorilla army and then going to Hiddenville to attack people. Sorry, Max, that's not how that works. Yeah. He says he'll have his evil grand followers back by midnight. Then his pole destroys the lamp. Max says Barbara will get mad at Phoebe for that. Max uses telekinesis. Then Phoebe uses her telekinesis to make Max's pole hit the door, causing him to fall. Yeah. Phoebe says, come on, Phoebe. You can make something better at the art auction than Max. Art powers activate. Then we next we get a montage of Phoebe using her art powers. Then Phoebe shows her art and says no one's gonna buy this monstrosity. No one's gonna buy the thing. The monstrosity thing. As I call it. Yeah. So we're busy throwing up. Then Max shows up saying he feels like her art project. He feels like her art project. And Phoebe says, roughing at Zoo, Max says, turns out gorillas like playing Max in the middle. I told you, Max. Solivar did not like you trying to control his gorilla army, did he? Meanwhile, at the Thunder House in Max's lair, Max tells Costa how he's not giving up. He will post something that's devious to prove that he's not going to stop. And Costa says, "Will that be before or after he does Costa's bubble bath?" Yeah. Will that be before or after he does Colossus' lilac-scented bubble bath? Max says, I'm sorry, did the gorillas use Colossus as a soccer ball? Or him? Phoebe shows up asking Max, how does he come up with his art idea? Max says, his artistic brilliance is not something that can be taught. His art project comes from a place deep within his soul. That's when Billy speeds in, saying, with Max's latest art project. Phoebe says, she thinks Billy has keys to Max's soul. Phoebe can't believe Max is using Billy to fetch art for him around the world. Billy says, it's actually from the dumpster behind the art school across town. Phoebe says, Max isn't an artist, he's a trash man. Max says, Billy's the trash man. He He's just the guy who's going to make more money than Phoebe at the art auction. Phoebe says, how evil, how despicable. And then says, how can she get on this? Phoebe said, Billy, after Max saying, don't listen to her, Billy. Billy's like, I work for Max. Sorry, Phoebe, I work for Max. Then Phoebe's like, here's $20. And he's like, sorry, Max, I work for Phoebe. So they leave. And Billy speeds off. Then at the art auction, Sarah approaches Max about his beautiful painting, and it really shows his sweet, sensitive side. Max is like, oh, I can fix that, and just draws him a goatee on it. Goatee on his painting. Sarah's like, ooh, you like girls with goatees, do ya? And then leaves to paint one on herself. To draw. Phoebe walks in, and Mrs. Matson says to put Max's vase in the masterpiece corner. Phoebe actually tells her that's actually her vase, and it's actually her vase. And Mrs. Matson says it's stunning, and she takes back everything she said about Phoebe in the teacher's lounge. Okay. Mrs. Matson says she might want to be giving Max a run for his money. Phoebe says, well, she's giving somebody money to run. Then Hank shows up, doing his best cowboy auctioneer accent. Yeah. And he says he can do a fancy prince auctioneer if it pleases Bradford. Bradford says no. He doesn't. And he'll be busy talking to ladies. Because Bradford is the best character. Bradford is the funniest character. Mrs. Wong is the best character, but Principal Bradford is the funniest. Max tells Barb how he's losing followers on Instagram. I'm gonna say Instagram. Come on, it's Evilgram. Just they're so similar on Evilgram. Barb says Max has a lot of friends. Sarah likes him. Sarah's like for Max isn't a like. It's more than an obsession. She's obsessed with Max. I know Barb later learns how much it takes to actually become friends with Sarah later on in the episode. How Sarah will take her obsession to Max on totally a different level. But yeah. Just saying. Anyway. Yes. We see Sarah drawing a goatee on her face. Because, yeah. Phoebe thanks Billy for the vase and tells Max how there's a new fake artist in the family. Max says it's dumpster art. But Billy reveals that he actually took Phoebe's art from a museum. Billy says he has to return it before it closes. Phoebe thinks it's a joke. Phoebe says she wanted something better than Max. So we went to the Himville Art Museum. Phoebe asked Billy if he really stole it from an art museum, and Billy says it's not worth much. The sign said it was priceless. Again, actually, not again, because it's pretty funny, the whole, Billy thinks something is priceless, but Phoebe tells him that's actually when something means priceless, it means it's really expensive, and then Billy's like, how do they keep coming up with this stuff? It's alright. It's not that terrible of a joke. At least they're not doing the Billy jokes. At least they're not. It's not that bad. But Max smirks and says, what's priceless is the look on Phoebe's face. I love Max. Phoebe says they're gonna go to jail for jail. They gotta get it back to the museum before the auction starts. Principal Bradford, of course, starts the auction, and Phoebe says she can't let anyone buy the vase. How are we gonna fix it? Max scoffs, saying we. This is a Phoebe problem, and as you and Art Thief Girl, I thought Max would make a joke about how he learned slang like that from, but nah. Phoebe says it's up to her and Billy. She'll grab the vase and Billy will speed it to the museum. Bradford introduces Hank as the only one who would be the auctioneer. Hank starts off with Phoebe's vase. Hank's confused at first because he's like, is there another Phoebe Thunderman at the school? Which was a kind of funny joke about how Hank only knows Phoebe for her terrible art project. So when he sees that Phoebe actually made something actual good, he thinks that there has to be another Phoebe Thunderman at the school because Phoebe is known for making terrible projects. Yeah. Barb asks Max if she help Phoebe make it, and Max says what really happened, that Phoebe stole it, but Barb brushes him off, saying that he's just jealous of her. Barb, he told you the truth. He told you what Phoebe, he was really telling you that Phoebe actually stole it, but of course, you just think he's jealous? And Barb never finds out that they did this. She never finds out in the entire episode what they did. So, the only people who know are them two and Nora. Them three and Nora. Billy and Hank, actually, Nora finds out later. But the only three to actually know, besides Nora, are Hank, or Max, Billy, and Phoebe. Hank and Barb never find out about them Billy accidentally stealing a vase from a museum. Hank starts the betting at $25. Barb bids $25, and then Phoebe says when Barb buys the vase, they'll just trick her into giving it to Phoebe. Then Barb and another woman get into a bidding war over the vase. Then Phoebe uses her telekinesis to stop the other woman from raising her hand, so Barb wins the vase because she's the boss of Hank. Those were Hank's words, not mine. Barb goes over to Phoebe, and Phoebe says she'll wrap up but she secretly tells Billy to get it to the museum, and Billy does. Phoebe distracts Barb by knocking over a similar vase, a small vase. And Phoebe says she'll make it up to Barb by making a new one and leave. Nora asks Phoebe what's going on, and asks why she's smiling. Phoebe says she thinks she's taking care of problems. She's taking care of problems. When I heard her say this, I immediately thought of the song Taking Care of Business. And that's the song that's playing right now. Taking care of business. Anyway, when Billy speeds in, tells her that it was too late and the museum is closed, Nora asks Phoebe why she's still smiling, and Phoebe says her face freezes when she's freaking out, when she freaks out. Billy says, "Don't worry," he hears they get put in jail, and Phoebe says, "No one's going to jail." No one's going to jail. No one's going to jail. They are just going to have to return the vase to sneak in the museum after hours. Then Max shows up saying she means break in, and Phoebe tells him not to put Max words in her mouth. It's his mouth. Why did I put... Anyway, Max says he makes it sound Max says so evil because it is. Max says a break-in selfie is just what he needs to get his followers back on Evilgram. Phoebe says she's gonna regret this, but she needs Max's help. Max says Billy and Nora tells Nora that Hank and Barb can't find out that Max is breaking into a museum. Yeah. Then Nora says, Nora has to keep until they're back from breaking into a museum. Max says, then at the Himville Art Museum, which is where I get the scene from, we see a security guard walking by when Max, Phoebe, and Billy and Nora get through the vent to get in. Phoebe says they have to make it quick because she doesn't want to know what jailbreaking takes place, Max tells Phoebe that he disabled all the security cameras, and Billy says he found a king tut lollipop, and then he eats it, saying, history. Ew, Billy. You don't know where that lollipop has been. It's probably not even king tut lollipop. Ew. Just moving on. Ew, gross. Ew, king tut lollipop. Yeah. Max takes an art action selfie. But that's when the security guard comes back. So while Max and Phoebe and Billy are pretending to be Egyptian statue, the security guard does his nightly dance break. Max says he doesn't know what's more ridiculous, them or the security guard nightly dance break. Max says he's gonna have to go with the security guard. Back at the auction, Hank says they're down to the last item. Nora says, down to the last item. Oh no. Barb says, where's, that must be Max's painting. Where is he? Nora says, with Phoebe. And Barb says, where's Phoebe? And Nora says, with Billy. And she's like, where's Billy? And she's like, with Max. But Nora's, where, the auction's starting. I just always loved that scene. I just loved it. Nora was hilarious, and her actress really sold it. That was hilarious. That's one of my favorite jokes. Just the fact that she's able to distract Barb so much, and then tells her, "Shush, the auction's starting," before she can ask where Max is. Funny show. That was hilarious. Hank says, who wants to bet on Max's one-of-a-kind bearded girl painting? Sarah says she bets 25. Nora asks if she's really going to bet on Max's painting. Nora says that thing looks like it came out of a dumpster. And Nora says, oh, she gets it. Barb just loves Phoebe the most. Barb says that's not true. And Nora says, there's only one way to prove it. So Barb bets $26 because she loves Max. Sarah bets $27 because she loves Max more. Barb bets $28. Sarah bets $29. Barb bets $30 with Nora smiling in the background. Meanwhile, back in the museum, we see Phoebe are still watching the security guard. Max said that this wasn't the evil he was hoping for. Phoebe says she knows because all the gold is giving her a kink in her neck. Max says that's what she was thinking about. Phoebe says that he shouldn't care so much about competing. Phoebe says she shouldn't have cared so much about competing with Max. Max says it's not a competition. They're on a team. Max is the captain, and Phoebe is the weird bus driver that takes them away game. Phoebe says she's not Bus Sally. She's not bus driver Sally. Who is that? Why did she say that? Either that's a bus driver from Metroburg, or I don't know. Either that's their bus driver when they were in Metroburg, because Billy alerts them that the security guard knows the vase is missing and tells Joe, who is another security guard, to get down there because the bird vase is missing. So as his back turn, Billy speeds to run the vase, and Max takes a selfie again with a statue. Joe comes down with the security guard to see the bird's vase is back, and they hear a noise, only to discover that Phoebe and Max have only discovered that the statues from previously are back in their original places, and Max put a Max's hair shirt on the statue that he took the place of, which was kind of funny. Then Max says, action, escape selfie. Takes an escape selfie. But Phoebe grabs him and takes him away and closes the vent. Back at the auction, Sarah bets 140,000. Barb bets 141. Sarah bets 142. Barb bets 143, Sarah bets 144, and Barb bets $200. Sarah gasps, saying she doesn't have that much money. Barb says, I guess she loses, but Nora backs up Sarah by saying that she could just go home and borrow her parents' money, skip college, and start a small business loan. Then Sarah just takes Max's painting, saying she wins suckers, and leaves laughing maniacally. And Nora says, never bet on crazy. And also we learned this episode that Hank met this is the first time on screen that Hank meets Sarah for the first time, but off screen he knows her as the girl that he tells to stay off his yard, to stay out of his yard, which is kind of funny. That in this episode he meets Sarah, but behind the scenes off screen he actually tells her to stay off his yard. Hank says, like they say in an auction game, he bid them farewell. Bradford says, go home, Hank. I love Bradford. He says, go home, Hank. And Nora says they're probably wondering where Phoebe, Max, and Billy are. Don't be mad, but Barb says they're right there, and Nora turns around to see Phoebe, Max, and Billy waving. Nora says, and Phoebe didn't make Barb a new vase. Nora says maybe Barb does like Max more than Phoebe, and Barb goes to talk to them about what Nora said. Max says Nora's a liar, but Barb says Nora's just confused. Nora says that they may think she loves them, only one of them, but she loves them equally. Billy whispers to Phoebe, maybe doesn't think doesn't think Barb knows, but Barb says doesn't know what, like she somehow heard him. He was whispering. I don't know how she heard that. I'm still confused. I'm so confused, show. Why'd you have to lie to me about that? And Phoebe says that they love her more than Hank. Barb says she always expected it, but it's so nice to hear. At the Thunder House, Max gets to know her thanks to his museum break-in that his evil grand followers are coming back. Phoebe says it wasn't a break-in. She just left an admission feed on one of the displays. Max says she means the money that he took to pay for the ice cream. And then Phoebe says, it's fine because she took it from him. Phoebe asks Max, why do you have Billy steal him art? Is it because he's lazy, or is it because he's terrible at art and her? Max says, it's because he's lazy and he's actually good at art, and shows her a drawing of a cat. Phoebe says, that's amazing. And Max says, he threw it together this morning. Phoebe says, wait a minute. Wasn't that the museum? Max says, yes, I'm back. Wait. Max says, yes, I'm back. Taking a selfie of him and the cat. Drawing to end the episode. And next episode is the Christmas episode, which for some reason aired in November. But it's a Christmas episode, and it's the Thunderman's only Christmas episode that they ever had. They only had 2 Halloween episodes with season 2 episode with season 2 episode 5 and season 3 episode something. It was pushed into season 4, which makes no sense, but in the scripting order it's a season 3 episode, which is what I put. But for some reason Nickelodeon aired it as a season 4 episode, but technically it's a season 3 episode, so I put it as a season 3 episode when we eventually get to that episode. But it's weird that Thundermans only had 2 Halloween specials and 1 Christmas special. 2 Halloween specials, 1 Christmas special. I know in a 4-season show like this, you can't do much with a Halloween episode and a Christmas special, but yeah. Next time we'll be checking out a Winter Thunderland. Yeah, Max hating Christmas, 3 Kier concerts, and an alternate Thunderman, an evil alternate Max Max Hating Christmas, alternate Cure concerts, and an alternate reality where the Thundermans are super villains. Find out next time on I'm Back in Reviews and Reacts, and I'll see you next, and I remember it so you don't have to. So see you next time for Winter Thunderland, where we get all that and more. And if you still want to wait, I will be re-uploading my video for episode 8 of the Thundermans, just so I can get it with this one. But anyway, that's it, and I'll see you next time. Dun, 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 dun. Hejin. Tenena. Kurusoba. Hejin. Platinum Gachado. I'll see you next time.